You ready?
Yes.
3, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, go. Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co.
And I'm Rikki here doing my top 20 games of all time.
Your top 20 games of all time. That seems like it's a big list. That seems like it's going to have like way more than 20 games in it.
Actually, not really. It only has a few extra games because they're technically the same game or we don't have it.
So you do have more than 20 games in your top 20.
Only like 5 more though. Instead of like 10, it's 15 or 20.
That's an accomplishment. It is an accomplishment. But yes, this is Rikki's top 20 games of all time as of 2021. It's going over her 20 games, and we're doing 20 because I initially said top 10, and she seemed to be having problem getting it down to 10. So we're doing top 20. Timestamps down below as usual, but these are her favorite games, starting off with number 21, which isn't even here, which is
21, not really 21. It's number 0 technically. It's Creature Comforts. We never ended up getting a copy.
Well, not never ended. It's not yet delivering.
We don't have a copy yet.
Yes.
So it's number 0.
And I think it's just starting to deliver, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen 1 or 2 copies, but Creature Comforts from Kid Table Board Games is Rikki's number 0, I guess, number 21. It's not really on the list. It would be on the list if it were here, but it's not yet here, and so it's kind of in the peripheralness of the here-ness of stuff. Yes. For that, let's go ahead and go into the actual list, starting off with number 20.
Las Vegas.
You want to tell me what this game is like?
This game...
And for context, keeping in mind that brief descriptions, because we're covering 25-ish games or so.
I know. I'm just like trying to refresh. Okay, this game is basically you have dice and you have stations. You roll them.
Yep.
And you put them in each station depending on their number, and you have different levels of cash. And then the person who has the most dice of their color in a spot gets the highest cash
at that casino.
At the casino.
Yeah, except
basically gambling. Except when there's ties, because then the person below the tires gets it.
And that's where the game comes in. This game is brutal. This game is mean. This game is hilariously fun as you try to take money from other people, as you try to make sure that they don't walk away with anything. If I'm not winning, no one's winning. And apparently, Rikki likes brutal, fun, mean games. She does seem. You do go after people when you play this game, don't you?
Only when I know I can't do anything else.
That seems reasonable. Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a great little party game. It's a solid number 20. Moving on to number 19.
Okay, 19.
19 I have to hand you, because 19 is...
19 is Recreators.
Another game from KTBG.
Okay, this is an adorable game where you have little divers and dice where you choose a die and you go to any number on the board from there. And you are trying to dive, collect seashells, collect treasures, and build your aquariums.
Yeah, basically that's it. It's a game of trying to assign your dice, assign your divers, run around, gather different things, fill up your trophy spots, fill up your aquariums. She said aquariums because they like doing aquarium stuff. By they, I mean the children. They like doing aquarium stuff a lot. They're all competing over, but I want the stingray. The stingray has no functional benefit. Ultimately, it just comes down to scoring or not, but they want the stingray.
And I want the axolotl because it's cute.
Axolotls are adorable. That's number 19. Number 19's Recreators from KTBG, Kid Table Board Games.
Okay, and the next game we have a Grimm Masquerade, where you have a secret fairy tale character and you're on a masquerade ball, and you are trying to either be the one to catch everybody else or be the last one hidden.
Yeah, this is from Druid City Games. We've had pretty much all the games. We had Grimm Forest, eventually it left our collection though, but Grimm Masquerade is one that Rikki keeps around because she really enjoys the process of figuring out who is who in this great introductory social deduction game as you go through it. Like you said, ready, you're trying to figure out who each of you gets a role. There's some degree of dancing, of actions you're taking, of various things you're doing to uncover each other. A little bit of deduction, a little bit of just taking actions until you get to a point. But Grimm Masquerade from Druid City Games, which brings us to your number 17, which is...
Number 17. Patchwork!
Patchwork from Rosenberg, a 2-player polyomino game.
Yes. It is basically, you have a blank quilt, and you are using your buttons to buy pieces and fill up your quilt. And you're trying to win by getting the most points, which means buttons and filling up your board. And though we have many polyomino games, this one made it into the top 20 because of how long we have had it. We have had it since I was like 2, and I have been playing it for a very long time.
Yeah,
This is how it made it.
This has been around for a very, very long time. It stood the test of time. We've gotten rid of a lot of polyomino games. We have a lot of polyomino games. We always get new ones because we like trying them all, honestly. But some of them, most of them, go away, and only a handful stay. But yeah, that is Patchwork, one of the grandfathers of polyomino games. Number 16 is I have
Calico.
16.
You have it.
Calico.
Calico.
Calico from Flat Out Games. Calico is going to be.
You are basically sewing a big quilt blanket for your kitty cats, and you have to place pieces to fulfill goals, get buttons, and get cats. And you have many courses. This game is kind of helpful if you are the kind of person who tries to go for everything.
No.
Teach you not to go for everything.
No, yes. Okay, if the goal is to teach you not to go for everything, then I agree with you. Calico is a game of opportunities fading away. It's like growing into an adult. At first, you have the opportunity, the potential of everything on the table, and then you have to start eliminating options as you realize you will never actually get everything you want, but it's okay. I play board games for fun, so we can go ahead and get that for fun. But Calico. Fun game. It's one of our favorites from Flat Out Games. One of their I mean, they only have a handful of games, but they're all pretty solid. This one is a great choice as far as a tense, mean, hard to play. Let me make sure these don't stack in ways that cause issues. And moving from there to our number 15, which I believe is another one that I have.
Santorini.
Another game that's been here for a long time.
Yes, another sentimental value one.
Sentimental value. I don't keep games for sentimental value. I keep games because I like them.
I know. This is basically a game where you are the old Greek gods playing on a little island and helping the tiny mortals build their city and being the first one to reach the top of the tower before it is capped.
Yeah, that's basically it. It's from Rockstar Games. It's an adorable game. This is originally a pure abstract way back when, and then they took it and turned it into a game with powers and abilities and accessible stuff and beautiful artwork. It's what?
It even has a little storybook inside that runs.
It has a little storybook. We just started playing Santorini, New York. We're gonna dive into it.
Yes, there's a New York expansion. It's fancier. Standalone. But it's also super cute. But we're not going to include it in this video because I still haven't decided how I feel about it yet.
Yeah, we definitely like it. The question is, how much do we like it, and is it worthy to keep when you have Santorini? Yeah. But anyways, that is that Santorini, which brings us to number 14.
Cockroach Poker, or in German, Kakerlaken Poker.
Kakerlaken Poker. Kakerlaken Poker. Cockroach Poker. This one. Tell us how you feel with this one. What are you doing in this one?
This one is one of those poker games where you have to go. There's basically tons of bugs.
Yep.
And you have a handful of focal cards. Let's say you take a bat out of your cards and you slide it to another player saying, "This is a rat."
I'm going to go ahead and look at it and say, "Oh, how interesting. This is, in fact, a rat." And I pass it to the next person.
Yes, and then somebody eventually either says that they believe the person or don't believe them. The wrong person. If they're wrong, they keep it. If they're right, the last person who had the card keeps it. And the first person to have 4 of one type loses.
Yeah, it's an incredibly fun game of bluffing, of messing with others, of working together to hurt the person who's currently losing. It is adorable. My personal preference is Cockroach Poker Royale.
Yes, Royal is much better. It is another one of those standalone things. And then it has Royals, which means another thing. That means a bug has a crown. So you can... And there's also 2 special cards.
There are. This card is always...
It's always wrong, or it's always right, but it's a Royal.
But it's not a Royal.
It's always right, unless it's always right, but not. It's never.
That's Cockroach Poker. Easily, I want to say easily. But double check. Probably our favorite bluffing game in our collection.
Probably it's better. It's probably better than Skull because there's more passing around. It's
I like
less
it more than
guessing.
Skull. I still have Skull,
more than Skull because you get to pass it around and go. This is this. This is this.
Number 13. Another one of those times we're going to cram 2 games at you. We're going to have Harry Potter, Hogwarts Duel, and
Harry Potter, Hogwarts Battle. This is a class. You are in the classroom practicing defense against the dark arts. But this one, you're going through the years of Hogwarts and defending yourself against Voldemort and the Death Eaters.
Yeah, they're
both hilarious. They're both awesome. This one has more.
Yes, this one has more content. This one's
more
cooperative.
Like a legacy game, but not legacy.
Campaign game. Yeah.
Campaign.
Yeah, this one is going to be cooperative. This one's going to be 2-player, but they have the same basic deck building mechanics, same basic ideas of them. Rikki first found this one and loved it, and I am very grateful that she found this one and likes this one because I vastly prefer playing this one with her. And this one
is way longer. This is way longer, and it's just very back and forth.
It's a good game, but it runs a little long for my personal taste. But yeah, how do you feel about this one?
I love it. I love the theme. I love the art. I love the little things and how they connect to the book. And I like how you're going through discovering things as you go through the years.
Yeah, we're currently up to year 6. We've already failed year 6. We're going to be diving into it again. Then we have to play year 7. And then we can finally break out the expansions, which Rikki has been asking to play with. But it's a campaign game. You have to go through it in a progression. Although technically one of the campaigns you're allowed to integrate starting in game 7, I believe. Either way, there's 2 expansions. We're going to be diving into all of it because Rikki really enjoys it. She's a huge Harry Potter fan. And it's a good game to boot. So that makes that an easy choice. Which brings us to your number 12.
Number 12, which is a Cloaked Cat. Yes, there's a lot of cat-themed things in this video.
Are there? We have Calico. We have... We might have more.
Yeah, I think we might have more.
We'll see. We'll see. So far, 2 games. 2 games so far.
And Cloaked Cats,
Oh, there's at least one more. Yeah.
You have 3 traits that are hidden from everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You have cards. You play them. You have little masquerade. You have little mask tokens. You put them on every single card that has one of your traits. You either color, body shape, accessory, or pattern.
Stripes or polka dots or neither, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Cloaked Cats is going to have some degree of similarity to Grimm Masquerade. The basic idea being it's a deduction game, which you're trying to figure out what the other players are doing. Well, clearly you put it lower down the list, which means it's better. But yeah, I like Cloaked Cats. It's from Haba. Great game. We've loved this one since we first played it. It's, I think, one of our favorite Haba games. It might be, I mean, it's the highest Haba game on this list, I believe. Yeah.
It might even be the only Haba game.
I think it is. I think it is. We'll see.
I don't play a lot of Haba games that much, or most of them are very old. Ones.
But that is basically Cloaked Cats, which brings us to your number 11, which I think I have to hand you.
Valeria Card Kingdoms in its giant box because of how many expansions we've gotten.
I guess that means we don't like it.
We love it.
We love Valeria Card Kingdoms. We do. Go ahead. Tell us about Valeria Card Kingdoms.
Valeria Card Kingdoms. Can you explain this one? It's a little more in-depth.
Valeria Card Kingdoms is one of those games like Magica, which is not on your list. Shame.
Oh, I forgot about that one. That's another creature comforty thing.
Oh my gosh, how dare you.
I hadn't played Magica 2 when we did this.
This whole list is invalid. This whole list, well...
I hadn't played the Magica. We do have one.
To give context, Rikki played Magica Legacy and loved it, but we don't have it. We just dived into Magica 2. But either way, Valeria Card Kingdoms is going to be like Magica. It's going to be like Space Base. It's going to be like Catan in the sense that you're rolling dice and then everyone gets things on your turn. Valeria has a gorgeous art from the mid-show, and it has just a ton of cards that you're going to be trying to build out your tableau of. Do you want more clerics? Do you want more warriors? Do you want more archers? Which degree of combination of characters do you want in the game as you try to use those characters to roll dice, to get strength, to get money, to turn around and buy the various domains that will help you out or attack the various monsters. Whole bunch of expansion content from just more card variety to my favorite expansion, which is the Valeria, the Crimson Seas, I want to say.
That's a good one.
I don't remember what it's called, but it basically has a whole new pathway of maps and characters and nobles and all these other things you can get. Yeah, lots of fun stuff in this game. We love pulling this out. We love playing it. Jesse has to play it again.
Oh, yay. Yeah. Yes, this is the game where I very much enjoy going after the monsters. I enjoy just stealing all the big bosses from everybody and then winning by getting all the big bosses.
And that's Valeria. Moving on to number 10.
Number 10 is
Trogdor! Burninating the countryside. Trogdor!
Yes, this Trogdor, the second game I ever reviewed.
Is it?
Yes.
Interesting. What was the first one?
Creature Comforts.
Creature Comforts.
Remember?
Yes, I do.
That's when we had to review it.
Trogdor the board game. A cooperative game of burninating the countryside as you work together to try to figure out how to, well, literally burninate the countryside. Burn down the cottages, burn down the land, and ultimately burninate all the stuff before the evil knights come and try to kill you for burninating stuff.
Yes, this is the deluxe version. And there are many things. You have a bunch of tiles that are all pastures. You step on it, flip.
The countryside.
And there's little peasants. And something really funny is if you can burninate the thing that a cottage is on and everything directly touching the sides of it, then you get to flip the cottage's roof and it's on fire. And then if a peasant moves onto that square, then you put the fire hat on it and it runs around. It runs around burninating everything.
It is easily the best part of the game. It doesn't happen often. When it does, you basically have running, burninating peasants. If you think about it, you're murdering people for your own personal enjoyment of burnination, but it's all totally worth it. Because they're fictional. Yeah, anyways, that is number 10, which brings us to number 9. Number 9 is
Kim Joy's Magic Bakery.
Kim Joy's Magic Bakery. Fun fact, this is going to be from Skybound Tabletop. It's the same company that brought you Skybound games, the same company that brought you Grimm Masquerade. See those Skybound?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
That's Kim Joy's Magic Bakery. Go ahead.
Kim Joy's Magic Bakery. You guys are bakers. It's a co-op game where everybody has different ingredients in their hands and they're trying to fulfill customers' orders.
Yeah.
And you fulfill customers' orders by getting all the things. And there's a bunch of little scenarios. The cat wants to be petted. You need to spend an action to pet it, to move it, because it covers some stuff. You can't take some stuff. Or the fox stole all the eggs. You remove all the eggs. You have to spend an action in two different ingredients to get an egg.
Yep.
Or there's the one that the mice switch all the labels, so you every time you have a whole new thing, then they're all face down, you randomly draw them.
Yeah, it's a tight little game of trying to work together, try to figure out how to make all the customers happy while dealing with whatever weird shenanigans are going on in your bakery.
Yes.
Yeah. That's Kim Joy's Magic Bakery number 9.
Number 8 is, I think, Quest for the Moonstone!
Quest for the Moonstone is a game that I said on camera I'm getting rid of this one.
I know, I'm very sad.
Well, I'm going to check with them first, because basically, we were done with this. The reason I'm getting rid of this one is because Quest for the Moonstone is another campaign game that we finished it all. And so the question now is, we want more content because we've played it all and we want more. But we're only sort of getting rid of it in the sense that we finished it, but it depends on if there's going to be more content for this or an expansion. Can you say, Lucky Duck, can you please make an expansion for Quest for the Moonstones?
Yes, please. I like it.
I'll send them this video. This video. Okay, Lucky Duck, you heard. You want an expansion. Yeah. Go ahead. Tell us about the game.
This game is one of those games where you need an app to it with it. There's a bunch of characters and places. And you scan characters, places, and items. And you scan the barcodes to talk about them, talk to characters, and you're trying to figure out stuff and get the Moonstone.
Yeah, Quest for the Moonstone. It's a delightful little game from Lucky Duck Games that we want more content for. Okay, Lucky Duck? We do. These stacks are getting dangerously high, which means we get to the number 7, which is a totally different game, not at all similar to the first one.
Not at all.
Is
Lucky
totally
Ducks Kids app game, Yummy Yummy Monster Tummy.
That sounds suspiciously similar to Quest for the Moonstones.
Yes. Yummy Yummy Monster Tummy, a game where you find a bunch of monsters in your attic and you go through the town finding monsters everywhere, and you have cards, and you feed the monsters, trying to get the closest color to their fur as possible.
You're basically combining colors from various characters. The monster might want a red card, and you have to figure out how all the players can work together to give them the red, which sometimes means just giving them red, other times it means giving them a combination of colors that get as close to the pattern as possible. It's a fun little kid color matching game, which you just hold up your foods or your items to the phone for the QR code scanner. A bunch of other abilities and mindfulness of things like vitamins or other benefits of.
They can't have vitamins. And there's also this little card like the toothbrush. If someone had to play a really bad card, so you can just wipe it clean.
Scrub
and
the color
black
gone.
and white. Everything's now black and white. It's super. That kind of simplifies it.
Okay, I hope we're coming to the end of this video soon, because I don't know if I have room for more of these stacks. Bringing us to number 6, which is
Via Magica.
Via Magica. This was on your list last year.
Yes, it was, because I love it. It's basically a little game where you are trying to open portals and get monsters and other fanciness, and then once you do it, and by drawing things, it's basically a bingo. It's kind of bingo-ish, because you draw something and hope for the thing you want, hope you have enough gems to complete it, and then once you complete it, then you have more abilities, and you get an extra gemstone. Every time this is drawn, it's considered a wild.
Or you can have scoring options, which modifies your score in different ways. Yep.
Yeah, and the art is incredible. It's absolutely adorable. And if you want to learn more about it, we also have reviewed this one.
Good. You see, that's called cross-selling. What you do is when they're watching this video, you're like, and go check out that video for a review of Via Magica. Yes. Speaking of reviews of other games, actually I don't have a review of this game, but maybe we should. Maybe you and I should stand and review it.
Number 5, Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Which we're going to hold tightly because everything is stuffed inside this box as much as you can get, so I'm going to hold it tightly over here.
Yeah. Quacks of Quedlinburg. You are a wizard selling potions, and you draw things from your little bag, and you advance the numbers and do their abilities, but it's a push your luck game. If you get 7 or more white, then your cauldron explodes. and you lose everything. The only thing you can get is the gems and the point. And
well, you either get to spend you either get money or points. It depends on where you are in the game, which one you prefer. But yeah, like we said, it's a push your luck game of trying to figure out the combinations. Tons of variability, even in the base game, and the expansions will even further add to that. But it's basically push your luck. Draw things in the bag, build out the perfect combination of bag building as you try to figure out how to most efficiently mitigate the luck of the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we very recently got an expansion piece that gives these tiny little adorable cauldrons.
I have the newest expansion too.
Yes!
Yeah, there's a bunch of expansions for this. But yeah, that is Quest for the Quacks of Quedlinburg. Delightful little push your luck game that has stuck around for quite some time now.
Yes.
Which brings us to number 4, another game.
Number 4 is Robin Hood. It's another campaign game.
That we finished and I said I'm getting rid of.
Another
even though
kind
I'm
of campaign game.
Yes, this one, unlike Quest for the Moonstones, they have already said there's going to be an expansion for this one. Yes.
Also, we 100% have to replay it because basically this game, you're going through Robin Hood's journey, exploring, and doing a bunch of the levels, and trying not to get caught, and trying to survive because you are an outlaw, and trying to bring King John down. Blah blah blah.
Stuff's happening. We're not going to tell you what's happening.
But in middle of the story, a tough decision you have to choose.
It made us feel things.
Yes, and we lost one because I tried doing
because
it.
Rikki felt bad for a fictional character. That's why we lost. Well, I felt bad too, honestly. I was right there with her. But yeah, this game is a solid little adventure game. Light on mechanics, but lots of fun little story play. Lots of replayability too if you want to dive into it. There's branching story paths or single branching story path, but there's also a degree of failure in the game where failure unlocks certain missions. So in a weird way, because we mostly won across playing, we actually didn't get to experience all the content. But yeah, that is Robin Hood, your number 4. Which brings us to your number 3, which is
number 3, which is technically 2 games.
And one of them has cats.
Meow! Cat Lady and Dog Lover.
Yeah, and they're both basically the same game, which is why they're taking up the same slot. There are some slight differences to them.
This has more stuff and it's dog themed. This is simpler and it's cat themed.
Yeah, they're both great games. We keep both of them for now, although maybe one of them will go away. I don't actually know. Are they designed by different people?
No.
Well, this one says
E.G.
David Short, and that one says Josh Wood. They're basically the same game. Why are they designed by different people? What's happening here?
Maybe it's like a collaboration. One of them was a cat person, one of them was a dog person, and they worked together, so maybe they just each made their own version.
That would be very reasonable. Also, we should put this box on the correct way so people don't lose their minds at us. Yes. Okay, there we go. But anyways,
I do that.
Basically, yeah, these 2 games basically involve having a grid of cards. You're going to have a 3x3 grid of cards, and you're trying to figure out how to gather those cards. What to take from the various rows. Cat Lady is going to be more of a straight row situation. Dog Lover is going to be an interesting bit of performing a trick.
Dogs do tricks.
Yeah.
Yes, but some things, so sometimes the blocker, there's a blocker that you can't take from that specific row or column. And sometimes your thing, you can never take from more than one space in there. And there's this thing where it basically goes like a plus symbol across the grid. So your guy, the dog, cannot be in the center, or this row or column, or you cannot do it.
Okay, and that brings us to our number 2. Your number 2. I keep saying ours. It's not my list at all. I'm just here for the show.
Here to slay.
The newest addition to your list.
What?
Are you looking at the back now? Are you distracted?
Kind of.
Here to slay. From the creators of of something unicorns. Of unstable unicorns.
Unstable unicorns, it says so right there.
Yeah.
The creators being T-Turtle.
Yep.
Which also does t-shirts.
Which we like the t-shirts. We do like the t-shirts. This is not a sponsored video. Hey T-Turtle, you're welcome to sponsor us. We'll happily take a look. But yeah, Here to Slay. Here to Slay is it's one of those classic take that kind of style card games where you're drawing cards from a center pile in order to accomplish your objectives. In this case, the objective is either to have a full roster of 6 different heroes or to slay
3 monsters. And
you're basically going to be trying to accomplish your objectives while other players draw cards that hopefully get in your way. Why do you like it so much?
I love it because 1, the art's absolutely adorable. 2, I love how there's like multiple ways for you to win. It does not drag on very long. It's very easy to play by yourself.
Yeah.
Very, very easy. My brothers played it by themselves like 5 times, and we only played together twice.
And for context, the amount of times that my sons play a game and say, "Let's go play this without anyone else helping us," it doesn't happen that often. This landed with them.
Yes. And I love how there's like party leaders and there's modifiers. You get to destroy somebody's roll.
Challenge someone.
You could challenge someone. Yes, I love that. Oh, I'm going to play a card that's going to let me win. No, I challenge you. Roll, 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 roll. I got a 10. Roll, 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 roll. I got a 6.
And there's a ton of abilities on all the heroes. Abilities that are a lot of fun to go through. It is simple. It is fun. It is likely my favorite game in the genre of simple taking cards and playing them at others.
Yes.
It is very much a lighter experience, but it's great art combined with abilities, powers, and all that stuff leads itself to a game that made your number 2 of all time.
Yes.
Which brings us to your number 1, which for those who are paying attention, what's your number 1? I'm curious if you know, because if you've watched Rikki stuff before, there's one particular game that's missing from this list.
Yes, but right before... Okay, whatever.
Yeah, go ahead. You can say. Right before.
Something very funny in here to slay. They have one of the items is a ring, and the diamond is like bigger than my head. And the name of it's really big ring.
The really big ring.
It's very funny.
Your number 1 of all time.
Number 1 of all time. Coraquest.
Coraquest. Coraquest, designed by, shockingly enough, Cora. Dan and Cora Hughes. This is Coraquest, which so for bias sake, we should note this. Rikki has written a quest for this, and her hedgehog unit, Hedgicorn. Her Hedgicorn is featured as art in the game, and so take that into account. But yeah, this is Coraquest. You want to tell us about Coraquest?
In Coraquest, it is basically one of the first dungeon crawler for kids.
Yes. There's like 2 or 3 dungeon crawler kits for kids games out there.
Yes.
Coraquest is probably the newest addition to the table, and it is delightful, featuring artwork from
everybody, created by Cora and Dan, made by you.
It says that there. Nice.
I just quoted Fox.
Yes. They basically had Gary, the artist, garified a whole bunch of children's artwork, taking basic line drawings and converting it to something that felt thematic within the universe. This is, like you said, a dungeon crawler. You're going to have your hero, you're going to go ahead and start wandering around the map, you're going to roll dice, take down bad guys, doing all you can to try to survive the particular quest or engagement you're on. Mechanics are simple, rules are there. It is just challenging enough to be a struggle for those who are easily distracted by the infinite desire to continuously explore the dungeon, even when I say again and again, please stop doing that, we're going to die. We do sometimes win, but it gets pretty close. It's well balanced around irresponsible children, is what I would say. Or playing with Quacklope. He was an irresponsible child when I played it with him too. But yeah, that's Coraquest.
Yes. And I love how there's so many different variables to the art. There's a healer cat, and her weapon, of course, because she's a healer, is a bodyguard kitty cat. And there's also someone in a warrior chariot and all this fanciness. Also, my Hedgicorn.
Your Hedgicorn's on the side of the box?
It's not the side of the box.
Oh, nice. Hi, Hedgicorn.
And we hid something inside in our adventure. The items in it will help you figure it out.
Basically, you're talking about the thematic aspect of what our adventure is hinting at.
Yes.
That's true. That's
little
true.
Hidden things.
Yeah, but that's Coraquest, Rikki's number 1 game of all time, which means, Rikki, this is a wrap. These are your top 20 games of all time. I'm going to ask you a question now. Okay?
Yes.
It's a fun question. When we do this list next year, your top 20 games of 2022, how many of these do you think will still be on that list? There's 20 games here. How many do you think are going to make it?
I'm going to go with around at least half.
At least half. 10 of these games are likely still making it to Rikki's top games of 2022. Let's take a look in a year and see how that plays out.
Yes.
In any case, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co.
And I'm Rikki.
And have a good one.